Welcome to Slide Scholar. In the previous video, we went over each entry in the Trolls franchise from DreamWorks and how they were received. In today's video, we'll be moving away from DreamWorks and into Paramount, specifically their popular Sonic the Hedgehog movie trilogy. Today's topic is why Sonic fans dislike the Sonic movies. Paramount's Sonic movies has garnered immense popularity, mostly from Sonic fans or newcomers to the franchise. However, there is quite a few people who have mixed reactions on these films, or just do not like them at all. Today's presentation is going to take a look at each entry and why it has generated negative reviews besides the positive. Let's start with the first movie. Why do people not like Sonic the Hedgehog? 1. Initial character design. Now, this criticism is from when the first trailer dropped back in 2019 with the ugly Sonic design. The original design of Sonic was widely criticized for its human-like features and unsettling proportions, which felt disconnected from the iconic look of the character. Although the design was later reworked after Backlash, the controversy left a lasting impression. Two, generic plot and uneven pacing. Many viewers felt the film's story was predictable and formulaic, following a typical road trip buddy comedy formula. The pacing also felt uneven, with some scenes dragging and others rushing through development. The overuse of pop culture references came off as shallow or distracting to some fans. Three, deviation from Sonic lore. The film strayed far from established Sonic lore, especially in its lack of familiar characters and settings. Sonic's powers and origin were loosely adapted, and his bond with human character Tom Wachowski replaced his relationships with iconic characters like Tails or Knuckles, something longtime fans found disappointing. Four, lack of Sonic-centric focus. Critics argue that Sonic wasn't truly the central figure in his own film. Much of the narrative revolved around Tom, leaving Sonic in a supporting or comedic role for stretches of the story. This downplayed his unique abilities and personality, especially during key moments. Okay, next, the sequel. Why do people not like Sonic the Hedgehog 2? 1. Messy and unfocused plot. While the sequel aimed to expand the Sonic universe, some fans felt the story became convoluted and cluttered. The wedding subplot and the sudden introduction of Gun were seen as unnecessary distractions from the core Sonic narrative. Two. Over-reliance on fan service. While callbacks and Easter eggs can be exciting, some viewers felt the film leaned too heavily on fan service, often prioritizing it over natural story progression, making certain moments feel forced or unearned. Three. Weak character development. The dynamics between Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, central to the sequel, were undeveloped for some. Their relationships lacked depth, with emotional beats feeling rushed or surface level, especially considering their significance in the games. Four. Generic action sequences. Despite a higher budget and bigger set pieces, the final battle was criticized as uninspired, lacking the creativity or emotional payoff expected from a major climax. Five. Disappointing portrayal of Knuckles. Although Idris Elba brought a unique voice to the role, some fans felt Knuckles was portrayed too often as a comic relief dumb muscle type, which undercut his serious, honorable persona from the games, especially as the guardian of the Master Emerald. Six. Lack of thematic focus. The movie juggled multiple plot threads, but failed to anchor them with a strong central theme or moral. This made the overall story feel less impactful and more like a string of loosely connected events. Seven. Poor pacing. Certain scenes, like the extended dance sequence, were seen as indulgent or unnecessary, slowing down the narrative and disrupting the tone. Eight. Missed opportunities were established lore. With deeper elements like the Master Emerald, the Echidna tribe, and Knuckles' heritage, many fans felt the film only scratched the surface of Sonic lore, missing a chance to enrich the story with meaningful world building. Okay, now the next one is going to be a bit controversial, since at the time of its release, many were calling it the best one out of all three. The third movie. Why do people not like Sonic the Hedgehog 3? 1. Rushed pacing and inconsistent tone. A major criticism is that the film rushes through key story beats, especially Shadow's backstory and the final confrontation, without giving them enough emotional weight. At the same time, it lingers on less meaningful comedic scenes, creating a jarring tonal shift between the film's darker themes and its family-friendly humor. This left many feeling that the movie struggled to find a cohesive identity. Two, overuse of Jim Carrey. While Jim Carrey's return is a highlight for some, others found his dual role as Robotnik and Gel Robotnik to be over the top and distracting. His comedic style clashes with the more serious, lore-heavy aspects of the story, further contributing to the film's tonal imbalance. Three, Keanu Reeves as Shadow. The casting of Keanu Reeves as Shadow was highly anticipated, but reactions were mixed. Some fans felt his voice acting was too flat or monotone, lacking the emotional depth and edge that defined Shadow's character. For many, it pulled them out of the experience rather than enhancing it. Four, weakened Sonic-Tom relationship. Now, this criticism is from critics, not Sonic fans or casual viewers. The heartfelt dynamic between Sonic and Tom that anchored the first film is largely sidelined. Fans noted that their bond feels distant and underdeveloped, reducing the emotional impact and grounding that the human-Sonic connection previously provided. Five, the laser dance scene. The vault scene, where Robotnik and Gerald dance through the lasers, has been heavily criticized as tonally off, with many seeing it as an unnecessary attempt at humor that disrupts the pacing and undercuts the seriousness of the surrounding plot. Six, disappointing use of music. Although the inclusion of Live and Learn was hyped, fans were disappointed with its brief, poorly mixed and uninspired use in the film. Instead of delivering the emotional or nostalgic punch expected, it felt phoned in, a missed opportunity to elevate the climax. Now then, what's the main issue with all three movies? The central criticism across all three Sonic the Hedgehog films lies in the writing and tone, particularly in how they handle the storytelling and character portrayal. Many fans and critics feel that the movies lean too heavily into formulaic comedy, overusing pop culture references and generic or juvenile jokes that dilute the emotional or thematic depth of the source material. There's an noticeable imbalance between comedy and maturity. The films often avoid the more serious, lore-rich elements of the Sonic games in favor of a Marvel-style, quippy action comedy formula. This leads to a perception that the movies are Sonic-flavored Hollywood blockbusters, rather than genuine adaptations of the world and tone of the Sonic universe. In short, the storytelling often feels superficial, prioritizing broad appeal and easy laughs over the character-driven narratives and world-building that longtime fans associate with the franchise. What fans hope to see in Sonic the Hedgehog 4? This is from the perspective of those who didn't like the previous 3 films. A more mature Sonic. Many want to see growth in Sonic's character. The childish and overly comedic personality seen in earlier films, especially up until the 3rd act of Sonic 3, fell out of step with how Sonic is portrayed in moments of high stakes. His seriousness when facing Shadow in that act is more in line with what fans expect. Less focus on human characters. Viewers are hoping for a shift towards Sonic-centric storytelling, with the spotlight on the Sonic characters and the dynamics, rather than human side plots. Faithful portrayal of Amy Rose. While interpretations vary, fans generally want Amy to retain her charm and determination from the games, not to be reworked into a stereotypical girl boss archetype like Princess Peach in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. There's a desire for nuance, not trend chasing. Metal Sonic as a serious threat. Fans want Metal Sonic to be cold, silent and menacing, in line with his classic appearances. Giving him a voice is seen as a risky move, unless he evolves into the new Metal Sonic, which has predecessor for speech and deeper characterization. In short, fans are asking for better writing, a more balanced tone, stronger character focus, and deeper game-faithful storytelling. While this video may have been pure negativity, it actually comes from fans who want better for the movies. It's not that it shouldn't exist, because I'm sure everyone did want a Sonic movie. I'm pretty sure everyone does. It's more that the direction they've taken may not align with everyone's expectations, and that's okay. Taste and opinions are subjective. No one is ever right or wrong. So remember, if someone doesn't like the movies, it doesn't mean they think it should be non-existent. It just means they have different views as to how a Sonic film should be handled, and the direction taken didn't work for them. A later video will contain positivity as to why Sonic fans like the movies. This was Slide Scholar. Till next time.